Welcome back to DellyMaths Concepts. Today, I'm actually looking at a PEP ability quantitative reasoning. Let's take a look to see what this is about, all right? It says here the value of 82 would be changed by how much if the 8 were replaced by 5. So let us do it. This is 82. We're going to replace the 8 by 5. So we are going to have 52. When you subtract, we're going to get 30. So the value of 82 would have changed by 30. So our answer there is B. All right, let us take a look at the second question. The second question says, if you write down all the numbers from 1 to 100, then how many times do you write the digit 3? So here it is that I've put together all the possible numbers between 1 to 100 right here. So in the first segment here, we have 1, we have 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 times. We would have written that 20 times. And then what you want to do is to make sure that there is no error. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 7, 8, 9. All right, good. So we're looking at about 20 of that right there. All right. So basically that's it. That's it. This should have been 30 to 39. Oh no, right here. But we would have gotten those. All right, let's take a look at the other question. All right, so question 23 says here, the sum of the numbers, all right? The sum of two numbers would have given you 17, all right? So the sum of two numbers give you 17, all right? The sum of two numbers give you 17. Which of the following is true? Okay, both both numbers, both numbers are even. You could check that out. Both numbers are odd. One is even and one is odd. More information is needed. All right, let's check this out. So you add two numbers and you get 17. All right, you could check it out. Let us say you add 10 and a 7, you get 17. If you add 14 plus 3, 17. If you add 16 plus 1, 17. And then every time you get 17, you're noticing one is even and one is odd. So I'll go with C. So you could actually write down these and then see for yourself. Given that 5 and 3/4 is equal to 5, in brackets we have plus square, plus square, plus square. What does one of the square represent? As you could see, 5 is here. So this represents 3/4, which means one of them is 1/4, another 1/4, 1/4. So one of those square represent a quarter. So that's B right there. All right. In the following diagram, there is a pattern of 5 squares, okay? So we want to check to see which one of these would have been correct. So what I'm noticing is you have the square in this corner, then followed by a circle, then equal sign. Then the square goes to the center, then you have circle, equal sign. Then the square goes to the end, and circle, equal sign. So you could see it's going around like that, okay? So if we want to know what's going to come next, this is going to be here, then this is going to come in the corner, and then the equal sign is going to go there. We're looking for that pattern, and we're seeing it at B. So you study the pattern and move things around. Number 26. So number 26 says Yvonne skips on 3 different days weekly. All right. So week 1, she makes 234 skips. Week 2, she makes the same as week 1. So in week 2, she makes 234 as well. Week 3, she skips 100 more than she did week 1. So 100 more would be 334, right? So the question says, what was the total number of skips that Yvonne did over the 3 weeks? We are going to sum this up. You want to add this up easily. You're adding everything up. For example, 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's going to give you 12. Drop down your 2, bring the 1 set of 10 here. This is going to give me 10, put on the 0, carry the 1 more set of 10 here. So 3 and 3, 6 and 2, 8. So this is actually 802 skips that Yvonne would have made over that time. All right, so this is all about dealing with your addition, skip and go. All right, so we're going. It says here in items 27 to 28, a term is missing from the sequence. Find the missing term. What you could do is use your subtraction quickly to see if there is a common pattern or common difference. What we'll do is we're going to take the difference to see if we see a pattern first. So the difference between consecutive terms, for example, if you subtract 7 from 9, you get 2. If you subtract the 9 from the 13, you get 4. You subtract the 13 from the 21, you're going to get 8. So there is a sort of pattern where you could see. So I'm thinking that this is 2, 4, 8. So if I subtract, I should get 16. What it means, if I add the 2 to the 7, I get 9. If I add 4 to the 9, I get 13. If I add the 8 to the 13, I get 21. So if I add the 16 to the 21, I'm going to get 37. So the answer should be B, and it's right here. All right, now let's go to the next question. So the question says, we have 1/3, we have 1/6, and 1/12. All right. Oh, this is another pattern question. So as you could see, the 1 is going to be on our numerator. The denominator is doubling. So the 12 would have doubled to 24. So we're looking for 1/24. And that answer is at E for egg. All right, let us go to question 29. Question 29 says, Susan and Jerry measured their heights. Susan is 142 centimeters and Jerry is 18 centimeters tall. Okay. Taller than Susan. Okay, let me read this over. Susan and Jerry measured their height, right? So Susan is 142 centimeters. Jerry is 18 centimeters taller. So Jerry would be 142 plus 18. Jerry is going to be 160, okay? Now let's look at what they want. This says, which is closest to Jerry's height? So Jerry's height is 162 centimeters, 162 centimeters. So that's like 1 meter and 62. So the closest to Jerry's height is actually this, 1 meter and 59, because this is actually, his height is actually 1 meter and 60 centimeters. And then this is closest to it right there. So 29, the answer is C. So come here. If the marketing department of a company has want to find out if babies like their new flavor of baby formula, whom should they ask? The babies? No, they can't speak. Children? No. Marketing companies? No. You want to ask the parents. They're going to know this because they're taking care of the babies, right? 32. Now, Diane found a torn piece of paper shown below. All right, it says which could be the number torn out if the sum of the 6 numbers was an odd number. If the 6th number, okay, which is the number that we want to put here, is an odd number. All right, so let us put this together. Let's add up what we have. So we have a 4, we have 1, that's 5, 0, still 5, 2, all right, that's 7, 16. So there is a 6 that's coming here, all right? All right, so what they're suggesting here is that this is even already. And when we add all of these numbers, we should get an odd number. So we want to see what goes here to give us an odd number. If it couldn't be this, because if this goes in the ones column, I'm gonna get 8 when I add the 2 there. So that couldn't work. This couldn't work either. 0 could not work because 0 with the 6 will still give me a 6. But the 3, if I put the 3 here, we're getting an odd number, which is a 9 coming down in that column. So it had to be C. David runs every day after school. He runs 2 kilometers each day. So note that. David can run 1 kilometer in 8 minutes. Very important. He lives 3 kilometers away from the school. David wants to know how many minutes he spent running, which is not necessary for him to know, right? For him to calculate that total number of minutes he needs to run in 1 week. All right. David runs every day. Well, he needs that information. He runs 2 kilometers per day. He needs to know how many he's running. David can run 1 kilometer in 8 minutes. Well, this is good. He lives 3 kilometers away from the school. So him living 3 kilometers from school is not necessarily good for us to do anything. These three here are good for us to work out stuff if he's going to run certain amount of kilometers each day. It doesn't matter where he lives from school. All right, so this is not necessarily good right there. So let's pick that out. All right, let's grab 34. It says, Paula was fourth in line, right? Mark was third place behind her. All right, so watch this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is first, second, third, fourth, and this is who? Paula. Mark was 3 places behind her. Fifth, sixth, seventh, Mark. Now, what was Mark's position in the line? Seventh. All you got to do is just to produce this and work it out. Look at it. Set it up, set up a thing, look at it. It works out way easier when you set up your system. Let's take a look at 35. 35 says here, the graph below shows the number of oranges picked up from an orange tree over a 6-year period. And we're looking at that line graph. Now, the question says now, which of the following is a reasonable conclusion about the graph? All right, so we want to conclude about the graph. Reasonable conclusion about the graph. Number one, it says fewer oranges were harvested in 2002 than in 1999. So you take a look. 2002, there was the highest. So 1997 should say could not have been more. So this is incorrect because 2002 is the highest. So 1997 was not more. So that's an untrue statement. B says more oranges were harvested in 2001 than in 1998. 2001 compared to 1998, this is true. We had more in 2001 than in 1998. And the fact that I saw this correct answer, I'm not even going to check the others because they can't be correct. It's only one correct answer per question. Now, it says here in the diagram below, each square is 10 units on each side. Okay, so these squares are like 10 units, right? 10 units, right? Those are the squares. All right, so it says here, point A and B are center of the square. Okay, so that means this is 5 away from here, and this is 5 away from here as well. What is the distance between A and B? 5 plus 5 will give us 10 units. 37. It says here, it says, which box would most likely be next in the pattern? So these are, you want to look at this, there's a 1, there's a 3, there is 6, right? So we see 1, 3, 6. And then after that, look how the numbers are built. Let's look at the pattern. All right, it's D. All right, look at the pattern. Number 1 is on top of this. And then, so, all right, if we should list, let me list them. Like, let us say this is diagram 1, diagram 2, diagram 3. On diagram 2, I'm seeing diagram 1 at the top. On diagram 3, I'm seeing diagram 2 at the top. That means on diagram 4, I am going to see diagram 3 first, and then I'm going to see something like this, which is B. So this would have been diagram 3 on top, and then I'm going to lay the 4th idea, and that's what has been going on right there. Let's jump to the 38th question. So it says here, All right. It says here that Mr. Palmer put a dot on the chalkboard and named it P. He then asked three students to measure 2 centimeters from P and put a dot. The picture shown where students put their dots. If 20 more students measure 2 centimeters and put their dots, what shape would you get? So P is the clue, and somebody would have put it there, there, there. And based on this pattern, you're going to get a circle, right? You have to get a circle because this is the center of the circle right here. 2 centimeters would be the radius going around. We'll definitely get a circle. So we're looking for A for the answer, 38. Let's take a look at 39. Each figure represents a fraction. Which two figures represents the same fraction? So you could break them down for you. For example, the first one is 3/4. Then the second one is actually it's actually 6 out of 8. So this is 6/8, and 6 out of 8 is already 3/4 because 2 into 6 is 3, 2 into 8 is 4. I'll stop at 1 and 2 because if I get the correct answer, I'm not even going to check anything else. So 1 and 2 is correct. The last question says, Carl has 100 pencils and sells 80 of them daily. Right? 1,000 pencils, and he sells 80 of them daily. Which of the following is true? Right? Now it says that she will run out of pencils in 7 days. In other words, 80 times 7. If this passes 1,000, it is true. 0, 56. No, it's not true. All right, you need way more days than that. Now it says she will have enough pencils to sell for 10 days. Well, 80 times 10 would have meant 800. And we still, so yeah, this is correct because we would have had enough to do it for 10 days, right? Because you're selling 80 each day. And the moment I get the correct answer, I will stop. Thank you for watching DellyMaths Concepts. Like this video, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.